If this storm gets worse, it could put the crew's lives at risk.
It gets dangerous when this weather starts getting like this because your visibility is poor. You can't see. You're running a chance of equipment banging into each other.
But if they don't hold their ground, the storm can destroy weeks of work on the ice road.
It's going to definitely affect our schedule. The roads that are clean and pretty right now, in a matter of half an hour to an hour, you can have 5- and 6-foot drifts out there.
It could get ugly. We might have to shut the project down for a good 2 or 3 days and then another day to dig out and start all over again. So.
For James, any scheduled delay could put his deadline out of reach.
Hey, I see you, James.
Jim.
Yes, sir.
CJ.
Mike's here with me as well.
Yes, sir.
This flow we're talking about, it's going to be a bad one.
Yeah, I actually would like you to evacuate immediately. Get everybody off ice.
Instantly.
All right.
Will do.
All right. Thanks, Jim.
Yes, sir.
Starting to think somebody upstairs is mad at me.
James is forced to call his crew off the ice.
Everybody start easing into that 12-mile staging area there.
It's far too dangerous to work, and with the snow piling higher, progress is impossible.
We're just kind of at a stop here.
All they can do now is wait and helplessly watch Mother Nature at her worst. Coming up, the damage is done.
We're gonna have to fight tooth and nail for every foot of this thing.
And the looming deadline pushes James to the edge.
I can't even get the reel to going forward. Every thing out here is that way.
Tuesday
on the northern reaches of the Alaskan frontier, Randy and Harley have traversed over 200 miles of tundra and are nearly at their destination, a station critically low on emergency helicopter fuel.
Here we are. We have a visual at the Hick-Pick-Puck helicopter storage tank. Time to go to work, get outside, transfer fuel.
Outside, temperatures are under minus 40 degrees.
It's cold out here.
The exhausted team is about to face the toughest part of the job so far.
When you have wind chills 50, 60 below, without that heated cab, it gets a little miserable.
They need to transfer the fuel quickly and get out of the cold.
Oh, she's got lots of room.
In these elements, human skin can freeze in seconds. Prolonged exposure will lead to hypothermia and even death.
We verified the level in the tank, so we're going to hook up the hoses and start pumping fuel.
The job should be a simple lock and load, but there's a problem.
That's not going to work. Hydraulic hoses are interfering, so we're going to have to figure out a way to move those hoses out of the way.
The tank's hydraulic lines are blocking their fuel connector.
Tight!
They need to remove a single frozen bracket to gain access to the tank.
When you're out in the field, if you don't have anybody to call in to do the mechanic work, you take care of it yourself.
If they can't fix the lines, helicopters in the area will be stranded without critical fuel.
It'd be easier to unbolt and just drop that down or try to move it off to the side.
The delay causes another problem. When Catco wheels sit idle, their tires can literally freeze and go flat, jeopardizing the trip home. With each passing minute, the winter air takes its toll on Randy and Harley. And then,
Okay.
they make the connection.
You ready?
Okay.
How's it pumping? Pretty good?
Yeah.
How far is it in there from the neck down in the tank? That's probably close enough. We want to leave plenty of room for expansion when it warms up. We're good to go for the night. Yeah, I should be able to sleep good now. I got plenty of fresh air.
Their fuel mission is complete, but they're not out of the woods yet. After sitting nearly an hour at 40 below, their Catco bag tires have begun to flatten on the Arctic tundra. "230 miles to the east, along the Alaskan coast, the Badami Ice Road crew assesses the damage caused by the Arctic storm.
We are starting to open the road back up. We just got to get her cleaned off.
As they clear the snow, James finds extensive cracks in his road.
Mile 8 and 9 is cracked up some, but I hope this is the end of it right here. It doesn't get any worse than this.
Then Mile 2 reveals a setback that is much more severe.
We got problems. Busting up pretty good here.
Last night's storm created a tidal surge, completely destroying Miles 2 and 3. The winds pushed seawater toward the coast, colliding with the ice road, lifting and cracking the road all the way to the surface. It's no easy fix.
We're gonna have to fight tooth and nail for every foot of this thing. If we don't do something with it right now, we're gonna lose this section of road entirely. We're gonna build us a man-made water break out there and then cut this stuff up in sections, set it down, and then build right over the top of it.
The giant cracks will take days to fill, but that's the easy part. To strengthen the entire section, the team will cut the ice, then pile ice chips and water to sink an ice wall to the sea floor. That wall should protect the vulnerable area from future tidal surges. The complex repair begins with driving tons of machinery right onto the ruptured ice.
Take your ditch witch here in between 2 and 3 mile and start cutting about every 200-300 feet.
The ditch witch is an Alaskan-sized chainsaw that cuts through ice like butter. But it is a piece of gear that commands respect.
You know, a guy got sucked into that, ate him up. Nobody within 20 feet of the end of the chain, 10 feet to either side.
Just as the crew starts their monumental tasks.
What's wrong now?
Filter's plugging up with snow.
James's equipment begins to fall prey to the sub-zero temperatures.
I don't think the equipment likes the cold too good.
It's nothing but constantly putting out fires.
Mechanical issues are costing precious time James just doesn't have.
Still working lights.
And he's reaching his breaking point.
This piece of here, I can't even get the reel to going forward. Every thing out here is that way. Son of a bitch. Right now, I'm just running on pure adrenaline.
Failing equipment could make a difficult job nearly impossible to finish. And James's deadline is just days away.
Guess we're just gonna hang out today and watch it snow.
Coming up.
Son of a bitch.
Bitter cold freezes Catcos in their tracks.
We're cold, we're stiff.
And driving on thin ice brings James within a few inches of his life.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
On the northern slope of Alaska, at the remote Ikpikpuk Tundra fueling station, Randy and Harley have finished their refueling mission. But now they need to make it 200 miles home.
Oh, you ready there, Harley?
Yeah, I'm ready. Hopefully, we'll be back in time so I can catch my flight Friday morning to go home.
Their journey begins with a problem.
Cold tires.
After hours of sitting in the minus 40s, their airbag tires have been flattened by the extreme cold. Every inch needs to be taken carefully. Forcing the tires now could puncture them.
Going pretty slow, let everything warm up nice and easy.
Temperature's right at 40 below. The rubber of the tires gets stiff and brittle.
Your bags get square and your rollers will spin on the bags.
The rollers are slipping against the bag tires. They have to creep along until they warm up.
We're going slow. We're cold, we're stiff.
Randy's frozen Catco is unable to pick up any speed, and it gets stuck on an incline.
Harley, can you come around the front of me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get out and hook up a tow strap and he can help jump start me.
If they can't get Randy's Catco moving, they'll be stranded in the middle of nowhere.
You have no choice. You call for help. It'll be, what, 2 days before they get here? We'll jump start, figure out a way to get out of it.